Well, the Victorian Caravan and Camping Supershow has been and gone for another year. It is the biggest RV show in the Southern Hemisphere, and I'm with David Sajfar, GoRV contributor. He was at the show as well, and look, we're just going to have a bit of a recap, look at some of the highlights and the new product that was launched at the Super Show. So, David, what were some of your highlights for the show?
Well, Max, it was amazing to see the Campbellfield, the global hub of caravan manufacturing, step up. Whole range of new models by vendors or by manufacturers, new products, and we're starting to see a lot of innovation, more and more innovation. So it was a great 5 days. I spent a whole 2 days there and still didn't manage to see everything.
It's, as David alluded to, it is a huge show. I'm going to go out on a limb and name one of the things that I thought was the highlight of the show, because I think it has the potential to really change how we travel in our caravans and particularly motorhomes. And I'm talking about the new waste management system from Thetford. It's called the Indus Wastewater Management System, I think, if I've got that right. Did you have a chance to see it?
Yeah, it's amazing innovation, and I'd love to see it implemented on a van. So I'm looking forward to the.
So essentially, it's a macerator toilet, and it can be positioned anywhere inside the van that you like. Sort of frees up the designer of the van, so they don't have to necessarily put that toilet on an outside wall because it's not using a traditional cassette. And I don't know what your experiences are with using caravan toilet cassettes, but mine, there's always a little bit of gross factor about it. And the idea behind this system is it removes the need for a cassette altogether, and it automatically doses the black tank that holds the waste with the appropriate amount of chemicals, regardless of the temperature. And then you can just pump it out at a dump point wherever convenient.
Yeah. And that's, if you look at washing machines and dishwashers, they're all going to this automatic dosing model. And it's about time that the caravan toilet moved to this model. It is more environmentally friendly, it's more user friendly, and it's more hygienic. And I think that's the intent of that system.
And you saw another product at the Thetford stand, didn't you?
Yeah, Thetford are kind of moving into that separator toilet. We all understand what composting toilets are. Thetford got a huge market share out there, and they're moving to what's called a separator toilet. So they're launching a toilet that can either be fitted new into a van, or your existing Thetford toilet, you can remove the bowl, remove the cassette, put a new bowl, and a sort of a semi-composting system that separates, ones from twos, and gives you more time, off grid. And it'll be interesting to see how that goes when it's released later in the year.
Okay, so we've done the obligatory conversation about toilets. Let's move on. Innovation when it comes to actual caravans. Was there a particular caravan that took your eye at the show?
Look, you can't go past, the Crusader range now. It looks, smashing. It's a great looking van. You then have the new Silverline from Jayco, and obviously the titanium range. Ed was in a huge stand, and they won stand of the year at the show. For me, it was impressive seeing Jason and the team present their new range of both traditional vans but also their next generation full composite vans as well.
If I'm not mistaken, that was the largest stand that Titanium had done at the Super Show before. So that brand is really going strong.
The best thing about caravanning in general is the lifestyle it gives you, where you can go pretty much anywhere. Almost all the vans we make are full off-road vans. That's something we've been very famous for. The sky's the limit. If the vehicle can go, as a rule of thumb, one of our caravans can go as well. But the thing I really enjoy the most about it is the consumers. Being able to meet the customers and hear their story, find out where they have taken their van, where they intend to take their van. Really, you're not selling someone a caravan or building someone a caravan. It's a lifestyle. As is evidenced when we meet up with our customers, we have owners retreats, we get together with them, we find out what they've done with their van, they intend to do with the van. It's just fantastic to see that joy in people's faces.
You also mentioned Crusader. I mean, what more can you say? I mean, those vans over the last, I'm going to say 5 years, maybe a little bit more, have gone from being, your traditional stick and tin sort of setup to being these really refined and well sorted fiberglass, sandwich panel constructions. And apparently they even named one after me. They called it the Mad Max.
Mad Max. I had a look at that. Look, the issue with composite vans is they can look quite boring, and they all look the same because they're very limited what they can do with composite vans. It's like, a roof and walls, and they all look the same. Crusader have managed to build one that's really appealing. It looks quite nice.
I actually want to challenge you on that when you say that these fiberglass composite vans can look all the same, because I'm thinking specifically right now of the Goldstream CPX vans.
Yeah.
They were at the show as well. That's Goldstream's sort of first move into sandwich panel construction using fiberglass. And to me, even though they do look different, they still look like a Goldstream.
They do, and I remember the days when, everyone had a Jayco Swan and a mate of mine had a Gulfstream camper trailer, and that was a gold standard Gulfstream. And it's great to see that they're, stepping up, to that standard in the caravan world as well.
So people who know me and have watched, my videos and everything over the years, they know that I've always been a bit partial to the Goldstream brand because I have owned a Goldstream camper trailer in the past, and I think they're well built. So I was used to say, like, come on guys, we need to see a fiberglass composite van from you guys, and they've done it, and I think those vans look really, really good. I mean, I think they're just a strong looking rig.
And that, you're right, in Gulfstream is a very approachable manufacturer. You can go and see Sean or Steve, and you're dealing with the owner of a big manufacturer, which is unusual. But I found them always very approachable.
But they're also not afraid to use their own products and apply what they learn out in the field. And to me, that's always a hallmark of a quality manufacturer. They put their money where their mouth is. They take their $100,000 unit out into the bush, bash it around a little bit, and learn something in the process.
Yeah, I agree.
But when it comes to innovation, there was a van. David, at the show. It's called the Counter-Strike Vincier, if I've got the pronunciation correct, and it's by Kokoda Caravans. Did you see it?
I see it. I actually went to the factory launch of that product, and it is the benchmark. It's I may have mentioned in my article. There's like a race to who's going to build the best van in Australia, and it's good to see that you no longer need to go to Queensland to buy a great van. You can buy a world-class, best-in-class van in Victoria.
But are we going too far in terms of what we can do? Like, the technology exists to create a literal house on wheels with more solar than what you have domestically. Yeah. Is that going to be far? Like, I think we need to back up actually and talk a little bit about what the Vincier offers.
Yeah. Look, from my point of view, it's a bit like the Mercedes S-Class, right? It has a lot of new technology, and you pay hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for. And that same technology will appear in the cheap C-Class or A-Class in 3 years' time. Speaking to Trevor Price of Kokoda, that's his intention, to take the best global offerings and accessories, like having infinite water, the electric toilet, the abundance of solar, having all that, building a van, proving it can be done, and then hopefully in the next 2 or 3 iterations of that technology,
it filters down.
It filters down. Exactly.
Okay, well, we need to specify a little bit about what this caravan has. So first of all, we've got these 2 gigantic solar arrays that come out from both sides of the caravan, and doubling therefore as kind of like an awning. Refresh my memory. How much solar did it offer? It was 7-something kilowatts.
Well, it's more than what I've got on my house, and I run a three-phase workshop. This had, I think, 9 kilowatts of power. It was phenomenal. It was just phenomenal.
Oh, and it could also create its own water?
It could create its own water. It's a complex. It's a bit like what you see by way of condensation in your air conditioner. So this air conditioner they have also acts as a water extraction unit from the air. So you create your own water. How cool is that?
And I think Trevor said it could, on depending on your conditions, it could do up to 100 litres of water a day.
Something like that, yeah. And I'm definitely keen for GoRV to look into this and educate the industry on what can be done. Because remember the days when 12-volt power was a limiting factor off grid? Well, we've addressed electrical power.
Well and truly.
And now it's time to address that water. Water now dictates your time off grid more than power does. So,
no, it really does. And what I like about it is that the answer isn't just to whack on more water tanks, is it? I mean, and therefore add extra weight to your touring. But also the toilet had an incinerator toilet.
Incinerator toilet, because you've got an abundance of electrical energy. You can now start to implement more effective disposal units, so you're no longer dealing with cassettes and waste or whatever. You've got hygienic, sterile ash that you just take out and throw in the bin or in the garden.
So getting back to my earlier question then, knowing what we do know, especially when it comes to this Kokoda caravan, are we going too far? Is there a market for this sort of stuff?
I could not afford this caravan at the moment, but I look forward to the day where it'll come down to the caravan that I can afford.
This man knows how to put things diplomatically. For my money, I think why not? The technology exists. There's going to be people who want the comfort of home, who probably don't necessarily love the idea of going camping, but they'll go if they can be comfortable and have all the features of home and all the comforts. They're only selling, I think, he said 5. They're only going to make 5 of these Vincières. So that's going to be really interesting to see how it goes. Anything else at the show that caught your eye?
Look, some of the changes and innovation we're seeing in the automotive industry, particularly EVs, is filtering down to caravans. So one of the things that stood out for me is a company out of Queensland, Safari, is launching their solid-state batteries. So if you think about the automotive industry, it's moving to solid-state batteries. Solid-state batteries are far safer. They're far more efficient. They provide more power, more bang for your buck. And now, for the first time, Bruce Luxton from Safari has launched an Australian-made, obviously components are imported, but an Australian-made solid-state battery. That'll drive a lot of change, the next level of change in caravan power.
Now, it's funny that you should bring them up, David, because they are our Tow and Tell product of the month. You were at the show, you had a chat with Bruce, and we're going to cut to that now and find out more about this product.
Folks, I've just been cruising around this awesome, huge Victorian Caravan Camping Supershow, and I run into royalty. This is Bruce Luxton. Now, let me tell you about Bruce Luxton. He's the owner of Safari and founder, but he was also the man that introduced me to lithium batteries in 2011. Bruce, you really are a leader and a change agent in this industry.
I built 6,000 vans altogether, including camper trailers.
Great.
Over a period of 14 years. And thoroughly enjoyed it, but now I'm back into the energy business, which is where I'd spent the previous 22 years.
Let's go and see what Bruce has been up to.
Let's go.
Show us the way.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the new products. Now, this is a tank level sensor, and it goes on top of a tank. And if it's not a metal tank, but it's a plastic tank or a poly tank, it will read through the tank up to 2 meters deep. It's Bluetooth. We've done a deal where Bluetooth connects through to Victron. It's battery operated. Battery will run for 5 years, accurate to 1 millimetre, and it'll do black water, grey water. You have solids in it, anything.
And it doesn't get dirty, because none of my gauges work anymore in the grey water tank, because they're all full of soot.
Correct.
Stuck.
And the black water's even worse.
Right.
So that won an award this last year at Mets Trade, and in the marine market, where there's a lot of black water, but also in RVs. Totally made in Australia.
And if I have my Jayco, which has got an old system in it, can I retrofit this to my tank so I know how much water I've got?
Yes, we retrofitted a brand new Jayco motorhome and pulled out the gear that was in there and put 4 of these in.
What? I'm just kidding, Bruce. I wouldn't do that to you.
Black or white, right, that you have, and it bolts onto the wall. That retails for $88, right? And it's got a battery in there that's good for 4 years. And when I press this top switch, you can see we've got the light coming on here, which is this blue light in the background, and it's coming on and off. And you can double press that and change colour. So if I double press it, I'll go from white to amber or white and blue.
And that's a dual switch? Dual?
There's 4 here, 4 switches.
Right.
They're on a rocker switch. The mould is ours, 100% made in Australia.
Well, you know what? A caravan light switch that looks good? That's unheard of. As you know, there are many EVs on the road, and EVs are kind of a huge innovation, but going through major change at the moment. All these lithium batteries are going to be a thing of the past. There are new batteries coming in many forms, including solid state. And Bruce, you're leading that charge. Tell us about your product.
Sure. So we could see that the future in the lithium battery was something safe because of all the accidents and everything else in Australia. So what I moved to was a solid state battery. Now, a normal battery has 35% liquid in it. This one's got less than 5. And we can put a nail through this battery perfectly safe.
Wow.
And the battery, you can crush it at 200 kilos, you can do twice the charge and safe. So that's 212 amp hours and 12 volt, exactly the same battery and 48 volt. And they're stackable. They stack on top of each other, and it's totally new to the market.
And these are coming to a much more affordable price point. And they're safer, they're more affordable, and they retrofit to your existing infrastructure, your lithium infrastructure. Is that correct?
They are. They're also CAN-based on the BMS, and I've done a double BMS for safety. So the double BMS means I've got double channels and they're monitoring everything from a BMS point of view. And so all the issues we've had from a BMS point of view now I've addressed in this battery.
Okay.
So it's the absolute best.
So I shouldn't be buying those cheap Chinese unsafe imports. I should really be buying something Australian made.
Okay, so what we've got here is a dual voltage battery. This battery is both 48 volts and 12 volts. This Scotty on the front here is the same as the one I've got over here that I had here before, but it's integrated into the battery pack. And look at this, David. I just pull this apart. That module there is a 12 to 48 DC to DC both ways. So with this battery, which is totally waterproof, by the way, with this battery, when it goes in and the mega fuse is in here, it will both charge the 48 and discharge the 48 at the same time. Very compact, totally waterproof. So the data pins are all incorporated. So it's just so easy to put together. It's just literally plug and play, put the power leads on, and off you go.
So instead of getting a second battery in my four-wheel drive, I could kind of just have this in the back.
Yes, correct.
So folks, this is the innovation that's coming in the caravan industry. Not only is it coming, much of it is here today, thanks to this gentleman here, Bruce Luxton, who's a real electrical engineer and leads the change in the electrical system in both the caravan and the boating industry. So you want to see this stuff? Go to the Safari website and have a look. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you. How good's that, David?
How good's that?
And that was amazing. That solid state battery technology is really innovative and changing. But Safari offer a range of other innovations. If you think about water tanks, measuring the levels on water tank, we're all using these old-fashioned conductivity thingamajigs that get dirty and don't work. Well, they're launching sonar products that measure the capacity of a tank. They're launching new wireless switching solutions, and these are all Australian-made products coming out of Queensland. So real innovation, exporting to global markets. So Australia really is the caravan capital of the world.
You're looking for a fast and easy way to secure your caravan? Well, this is the Blackjack Chocker. Now, this unique device effectively will eliminate wheel movement in both directions and really quite easy to install. These arms are powder coated while the wedges are zinc plated. Now this product, it weighs 3.5 kilos, it has a 3-year warranty. Now when it's time to pack up and remove the Blackjack Chocker, you've got a steel cable here covered in a UV resistant plastic, and it's literally just a case of giving that a good pull and away you go.
Max, another thing I witnessed at the show is the growing presence of composting toilets. We're all familiar with cassette toilets, and we're seeing more and more composting toilets in these off-grid vans. And clearly one of the leaders in that space is the OGO product. And, very impressive. Anyone looking at composting toilets probably should go, seems to be the choice brand of the caravan manufacturers.
Now, David, obviously, Jayco is always going to have a big stand at the Super Show. It's their 50th anniversary. They've come out with a bunch of new models for 2025. You're a Silverline owner. What do you think of the new look Silverline?
Oh, look, I think it's just timeless. It's got a refreshing look. Its interior just doesn't look like any other caravan at the show. Now, people love or hate Jayco, but they are the leader in what they do. They're built to a price point, but I've always loved and admired Jayco's. The new Silverline has some fantastic innovations. It's full composite, fiberglass inside, fiberglass outside, walls, roof, new PET floor. The furniture looks great. And, this shower door that turns from frosted to clear, so if you want to make your bathroom bigger, you have your shower door clear. If you want some privacy when you're having a shower, well, you can hit a button and the door becomes frosted. It's a great innovation, very exciting stuff.
For 50 years, we've been shaping the future of caravanning. While others talk about what's next, Jayco is the name Australians have trusted for generations. Built right here, designed for our landscapes, and crafted to stand the test of time. Trends come and go, but real innovation, real quality, and real adventure stand the test of time. That's why more Australians choose Jayco. Yesterday, today, and for the journeys ahead. Jayco, making memories since 1975.
What about the Snowy River Van Cave? Did you check that one out?
Funny you should say that. I always think about, I go fishing and hunting with my mates, and I can never take my caravan because it's a bit odd, it's like a couples. Every caravan seems to be for couples or families. So, next time I want to take my mate or a couple of mates fishing, that is the van you're going to have.
What you need
doesn't feel odd, right?
What you need is a caravan that has its own, built-in beer taps, built-in beer kegs, recliners, do those recliners even have massage functions?
Exactly.
I mean, again, maybe going a little bit too far. I don't know if I want a caravan that has a built-in massage function, but you know what? Maybe I do. Maybe I just, maybe that's what's missing in my life, David.
I'd be comfortable going fishing in that one.
Big screen TV.
I don't know how much fishing I'd get done, though.
Probably very, very little, especially with the beer on tap.
Now, Max, what about the Masterpiece range? Any thoughts on that?
Well, I know that they did come up with a director's edition of, I think it was their Optimum Extreme off-road caravan. I think they call it the director's edition, if I'm remembering correctly. And that is, the Masterpiece caravans. Have you spent much time with them before?
It's their 10th anniversary. They're a very solid manufacturer. They've got some innovation, and the RTEC technology, which is they don't use wood or aluminium in their frames. It is unique timber-free technology that they use. That looks quite exciting.
They call it fibroplast. It's a special material that basically replaces Meranti timber, and that becomes their framing material that you can screw into, you can glue it, but it's as strong as Meranti. If you've ever tried to break it over your knee, which I have done before, oh my goodness, it won't break. Yeah. And if it will break, it's only because you put a lot of force onto it. And it's lighter too. They've got their special air cell technology, I think they call it, for their insulation. So Masterpiece is one of those manufacturers that is innovating and doing things a little bit different to what we've seen over the last 5-10 years.
Good to see the Victorian industry leading the way.
So, David, were there any missed opportunities for you at the show?
I think the major missed opportunity was we'd love to see more people there, obviously, more buyers for the vendors. Secondly, I think there was a missed opportunity from a tourism point of view. I would have loved to, governments do so much to promote tourism. Why aren't we promoting the Victorian caravan and camping industry a lot more? Why aren't we linking caravanners with places to visit, with caravan parks?
Places that are in need.
Exactly, like Halls Gap, we had the opportunity to fill every Halls Gap caravan site that weekend by offering vouchers, by offering special discounts. If you recall, we did an article on the post-flood disaster in Rochester, where we did a campaign sharing the sad news, but we also had an offer of a discount within the caravan park, and we encouraged our readers and caravanners to go to Rochester, help those people, help the economy, and they're well on their way now to picking up.
And there's probably no other demographic that is as well suited to help the economies of these small towns in need than caravanners and people travelling in motorhomes.
Exactly. A caravanner goes to a town, they will buy fuel, they will buy supplies, they will pay for the accommodation, they will likely, do some of the tours and all that sorts of stuff. And the more offerings you have, the longer they will stay in your town.
So are you saying that you would like to see a little bit more government involvement in terms of using the shows as an opportunity to get people out there?
Yeah. There needs to be some incentive as part of the show. Most of those people have a caravan. They're looking for places to go. They're looking to save money. And why not? If we're spending money, let's help somebody. Max, another thing I saw at the show was the abundance of smaller caravans. Normally we're used to big caravans, and there's a lot of, single axle, really convenient, easy to tow, easy to park. Have you seen anything that caught your eye?
David, I love a small caravan. I just think for me, small caravans are where they're at. Single axle, they're easy to store, they're easy to tow. You can get them more places. There was one little van actually. It's at the Millard stand. It was around about 14 foot, and it's actually Tow and Tell's RV of the month. Let's take a look.
Now, there are very few manufacturers that have the same longevity and the same story to tell as Millard. They had their new 2025 range at the Super Show, and it all looks fantastic. It's time to go check it out. Another one of my favourite things has got to be this Millard Tourer. It's actually 14 foot 7 inches, centre door cafe caravan. One of the things that I like about it is, look, obviously it's going to be a well-built caravan. It's a Millard. But secondly, it's compact, so it's lighter to tow. It's easier to get into all those fantastic, campsites. And from my perspective, do you necessarily need 22 foot of living space? I vote no, but that's just me. Now, this one weighs 2,260 kilos at tear. Look, no, there's not acres of living space in here, but it's got a bathroom, it's got a bed in the front, you've got your cooking facilities, you've got your dinette, and everything in between. Look, I understand that compact caravans aren't for everyone, especially big families, but you know what? I like this caravan.
Max, that's a van I would take fishing with a couple of mates.
Yeah, I think I would too, actually.
You'd be able to get to all those difficult to reach places.
So this is the X-Rider. X-Rider, as it indicates, this is an off-road version. So this is a new introduced model for 2025, and I'm now going to show you a few of the highlights. 16-inch Q-Flow alloy wheels, designed, made by Millard, specially made for these vans. Here's another feature, always on Millards, the little step infill, so you're not going to accidentally trip into there, and a marine grade carpet mat at the entrance. New Millard designed and made windows, aluminium framed, flush mount, really serious block out blind, midgie proof screen, and very easy operation, and they are tinted. So they will cut out all that extra sunlight, keep the van really nice and cool. This is direct access, Starlink. Plug it into here. Inside the van, I'll show you. You have full access, ready to go for all your Starlink needs. So Starlink, put the box in here, plug it into the little inbuilt inverter and the receiver for the antenna. You've got your internet ready to go wherever you are. That's good. All Millards now have a lockable box that is your direct access to filling your water tanks directly through brass fittings, fitting your mains water, all in a tiny box, and you can even separate which tank is being used for fresh water. Such a great idea. Global, part of the Urbisatcha group. This is their new hot water system, 28 litres. Beautifully finished off. This will operate off gas or 12 volt and will make the van an absolute dream to operate. Up here, this is important. Global again, like the hot water system, Urbisatcha. These air conditioners have a built-in inverter, so it's a soft start, but in the best possible way. This is now standard on these X-Rider caravans and is the leading edge of technology with air conditioners. So you didn't ask for this, but we're going to give it to you anyway. The new Millard Ensuite with its big LED lights, so you can really see how good you look after free camping for days on end. How good is that?
How do you go with your big tandem axle Silverline?
Oh, I don't. I kind of go where my wife tells me, which is caravan parks. Predominantly, but we have hit the desert, and we'll spend the night on the side of the road where you're allowed, and minimise cost and convenience of travel and that sort of stuff. But it's mostly caravan parks for us.
Do you ever regret getting a big caravan, or see yourself getting a little camper?
I don't. The problem was when I had a little caravan, my partner of my life and my love of my life didn't want to go anywhere with the little caravan. She needed the convenience, like Fiona. She wanted the bathroom, the central heating and air conditioning. And
whatever you do, don't show her the Kokoda Counter-Strike Vinciere because she'll want it.
Another one.
So as we said, the Victorian Caravan and Camping Super Show, it is the event in Victoria. Look, if not the Southern Hemisphere, it is the largest one on our side of the world. So congratulations to everyone at Caravan Industry Victoria, Daniel Sarberg and the entire team for putting on once again a fantastic show where, as you've seen, we did see a lot of innovation from dunnies to caravans and beyond. Solid state batteries.
New caravans, which are absolutely world class. And, you no longer need to go to Queensland to get a, $300,000, $400,000 caravan.
The only danger about going to shows like this is there's so much to see that, you can find yourself a little bit confused. So always go in with a plan. And once again, to everyone involved, well done on another fantastic super show. And if you like this sort of content in your feed, make sure you like, share and subscribe. And if you agree or disagree with us, make sure you let us know in the comments as well. Thanks for tuning in. And David, lovely to have you. We might even have him back again sometime.
Oh, that'd be nice. Thank you.
We'll see you next time.